everybody, it's Peggy. I was asked by Joy Menace to tell how I make cards. And there's a lot of ums here. I really don't have any great plan of attack when I start a card. Like, I'm not one of these people that has it all written out and all the bits and pieces laid out beforehand and all that sort of thing. I generally pick one element of the card and take it from there. Like this card, I went with the style. I knew I wanted a scalloped oval to make the card, and then I picked this paper to go with the scalloped oval, and then more ovals to go with it, another scalloped oval here, and then just a plain oval for the middle. And once I got that figured out, I realized that it needed something else, so I tried that and cut it out, and that worked out, I thought, okay. And then there was some butterflies in the paper stack, so I just cut a couple of those out and added it to the front of the card. And then I like to decorate the inside as well, so another scalloped oval and a plain oval, and then another butterfly. So I will pick out different types of, like I say, different styles, different kinds of folds, like a fancy fold here that folds out like that. And then I'll just, well, actually this paper was just a piece of scrap paper, and I had originally planned on making this a Christmas card, and then I got looking at the color of the paper, and I had cut this out, and in my practice run it turned out okay, so I decided to, well, it's not really Christmassy paper, so I decided to make it into a birthday card. So it started out Christmas and then ended up birthday, but you know, you can, that's how I work, just sort of take it as it goes. Another fancy fold that I wanted to try was this one, and so it's got that fancy interlocking thing. Your whatever design you want, just when you cut it out, just have the two pieces fit together here. And this is a reason to get re-inkers with your ink pads. That was a white flower. I just used one of my re-inkers and dyed it to match the card. And sometimes if I don't have a particular style of card in mind, I'll just pick out like a stamp. That's a little blurry because she isn't quite lined up again, and go with that to make my card. And this is just a simple thank you card, but I've colored that up and layered it up on foam just to give it some dimension and some interest. And I cut the outside frame in one paper, flipped it over, this is the reverse side, and just stuck it back on inside of it again, so it gives you a little bit more interest rather than just one plain color of paper there. Another time I'll get I was playing around with an embossing folders, and I embossed the gold piece with the music notes, and so I was wondering what to do with that. So this is how I built that up, just from the one element. And I'll do that with dies as well. I knew I wanted to put joy on there, and then some snowflakes, and then so I wanted a fancy oval to put on it, and again want to decorate the inside. I was looking at this and I thought, well, it needs something else down in between the two different colors here, patterns, so I just put that little bit of green pearl trim down through there. It just needed a little something something, and I got a little bit of gold ribbon over there. It's just a lot of times I'll put something down, glue it down, or stick it down, and then realize that, well, I should have had something underneath there, and I have to rip it off and jam it underneath. I don't, like I say, have a rhyme or reason to how I build things. And this one I knew I wanted to cut up on layers. So it's just one sheet of paper that you cut 3 times, and then you put a background behind it to emphasize the different layers. And this time I used some metal corners and a metal butterfly, and I put some glossy accents on the butterfly that's on the paper there, just to sort of accentuate it. And then on the inside it's another piece from that same paper stack that has a little butterfly there and there. So you just sort of tie the inside to the outside. Like I say, I really don't have any great formula for making cards. I just pick an idea and go with it and build on it. This is another one that I put that in there, and then, well, what do I put across? It needs something in here, so this is what I came up with. Well, then the top corners looked a little bare, so I had these corner dies, so I cut that out of the gold too, and then it needed something at the bottom, so I dyed another white flower and put that on the bottom, and some gold braid down there. So that's my great secret for making cards. Now when I do come up with a design, especially something like this or like this, that they have to be cut at certain places, and you have to do this and you have to do that. I do have a little notebook that I write everything down in, and it may be the same card the next time, or maybe a little different, but all my hieroglyphics that you probably couldn't read this because I have all my little shortcuts and what have you, but yeah, so, and it saves the next time when you go to make something, you don't have to figure it all out again if you've got it all written out. But just pick an element and or two, and just start building on it, and just whatever you've got on hand. I do not have much of an imagination. What I am pretty good at is seeing something and figuring out how it's made. So making cards has been a real challenge for me, but I really enjoy that challenge of pushing myself to learn how to do more and more things, and how to embellish them better. I'm still struggling with that. But one of the biggest and best things that I bought for card making is my Cuddle Bug, or Big Shot, or whatever you get. But you just need really a handful of dies. I would suggest the plain ovals and the scalloped ovals first. And I would very highly recommend the diamond dies. You get a lot of dies for your money. And plus the circles are good too from diamond dies. And then get a couple, 3 fancy dies. This one that I've used here, I use an awful lot, and that's a Spellbinders. I forget which one it is, label something or other. But it's quite a fancy die. And use it quite often, like I said. And maybe a square, or actually a rectangle die is better, because you can cut the middle out of it to make it a square. So you don't need to buy a lot, just a handful to get you started. But your ovals are the big ones to get. And then if you like stickers, use those, or the appliques, or rhinestones, or whatever you like. Lace. I really don't use much lace. I've got a ton of it here, but I don't use much of it. That's something that I do want to start incorporating a bit more. But just go for it. There's no right or wrong. And everybody enjoys getting a card when it's handmade. Everybody knows it's from the heart when it's handmade. So, really, I can't tell you much more than that. Watch videos. That's where I learned an awful lot, and just by doing it and pushing yourself. I hope this helps a little bit. I don't know how much it's going to help, but there you go. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to give me a holler. Okay, take care. Bye.